Alright, so I was going to go ahead and post a little video here what I'm doing with these bikes. I figured I'd go ahead and start now because I'm building another one. I'm kind of in the early stages of it now, so I'll make a couple videos as it progresses. This is my current electric bike. You've seen some videos of it before. The thing's dirty as sin now, and I've gotten quite a bit of use out of this thing. There's your electric motor down there. I've got the controllers actually built into that motor. Put some panniers on there, some little side bags to give me some storage. This top bag here contains a battery. That's 4 12 amp hour, 12 volt lead sealed acid batteries, and they're wired in series for 48 volts. You got your throttle, battery gauge. Your brake levers have actuators in them. They'll actually, the thing's got regenerative braking, so when you pull the brake handle, first of all, it shuts your motor off, charges your battery in order to slow the bike down. So really from high speeds on this thing, you're using the actual motor's power to slow the bike down, not some cheesy little V-brakes and whatnot. Problem with this bike here is you go about 6 or 8 miles and it will overheat, and the added weight between the motor and the battery pack, man, you don't want to be pedaling this bike for 9 miles, trust me. Alright, so here's the new one, thus far anyway. This is a Mongoose downhill frame, and the bike's just got a lot more features on it than the other one. First of all, you've got your disc brakes, and you've got those front and back. You've also got, obviously you've got the front forks. This bike here has forks on it as well. It's got front suspension, but it's a hardtail frame, whereas this one is a downhill, so this has got the dual suspension on it. It makes for a real soft ride. Now this actual suspension coil is really cheap. The thing's not very good. It's got practically nothing for a for a hydraulic, but it does have that 950-pound spring on it, so it's workable. You could spend literally $1,200 to $1,500 on just that shock if you wanted to for a bike. It's crazy what you can spend on them. So anyway, I've put this aftermarket kickstand on here because the bike didn't have one when it came. And then obviously I've got this rack. The normal racks that come down here and mate with your axle don't work because this whole wheel can move up and down because of the suspension on it. So you've got to use a seat mounted rack for your trunk bag and whatnot. And the problem with those is you're putting pretty heavy batteries in these things, so they've got to be rated. A lot of them are good for like 10 kilograms, which is about 20 pounds, and like the battery alone I'm putting in here is going to be 28 pounds. So those just won't work. This one here is rated for 25 kilograms, so you're looking at like 55-ish pounds. And of course, you can put twice as much weight in there before it's actually going to break. I'm sure that my seat post would probably fail before that rack would. I've got my trunk bag here. This thing is actually the perfect size for the battery pack that I'm going to put in this. It's going to be lithium iron phosphate, and that pack would go down into this bag perfectly. It would fill up the entire thing. Although a 28-pound battery that high is going to make for a real high center of gravity. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't have the bags yet, but there are side bags I'm going to put on here, and then I'm going to have the batteries down here in the lowest part of the bag. I'm going to have 2 on each side, 4 total, and that'll leave this top bag for car keys, sunglasses, battery chargers, so on and so forth. all my gearing's coming off. This is going to be a 1-speed sprocket here, 1-speed freewheel here. I'm taking off the derailleur. I'm taking off the front derailleur. Both my shifters, those are coming off. And I'm actually going to have a twist throttle on this bike. So I'll literally have, it'll look like just, you know, a regular Huffy dirt bike as far as the handlebars go. Because I'll have a twist throttle here, 2 brake levers, that's it, 0 shifters, nothing. I'll have a computer here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a video of this after I get, you know, a couple more parts and then a couple more parts. Let's just see how it comes along. But this should be pretty nice bike when it's done. You're talking about $2,000. It was $427 for the bike. That includes shipping and tax. There's about $20 on the kickstand, about $35 or $40 on the rack. I spent about $30 on the bag, $30 on the other bag. I've got another package on the way with the controller, wire harness, fuse holder, the brake levers, the twist shifter, all that stuff's coming. I think that was about $350. I'll spend about $450 to $500 on the motor and about $500 to $800 on the battery. But anyway, it's a 7-minute video just to show you what I'm doing. This one will be quite a bit better than my existing one.